Is there a controversial way for founders to pay themselves? You bet there is. It's called dividends. Now you might be wondering, what are dividends? Well, in the simplest terms, dividends are payments made to shareholders out of a company's profits. Think of it as the fruit of your labor, the sweet, juicy reward you get for investing in and nurturing a business. For some founders, paying themselves through dividends is the preferred method. Why? Well, it's quite straightforward. As a founder, you are a significant shareholder of your company. So when the company makes a profit, you can choose to distribute a portion of those profits as dividends, effectively paying yourself for your hard work, dedication, and investment. But it's not just about the money. Dividends can also offer more flexibility than a regular salary. They can be distributed at different times and in varying amounts, depending on the company's profitability. This means that in good years you could potentially take home a larger slice of the pie, a tantalizing prospect for any founder. However, just like any juicy fruit, dividends come with their own set of seeds, or in this case, controversies. Paying yourself through dividends may seem like a smart move, but it's also a move that's shrouded in shades of gray when it comes to its legal standing. While some see it as a legitimate way to compensate founders for their hard work, others view it as a loophole, a way to avoid paying employment taxes, or even worse, as a form of tax evasion. It's a debate that's been simmering in the business world for quite some time, and it's a debate that any founder contemplating this method of payment needs to be fully aware of. But why is this considered controversial, you ask? Let's dive into that in our next scene. So stick around as we peel back the layers of this complex issue. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up next. Paying yourself through dividends can be a gray area when it comes to legality, and here's why. As you might already know, dividends are payments made to shareholders out of a company's profits. Now, if you're a founder and a significant shareholder of your company, it's tempting to think of this as a neat way to compensate yourself for all your hard work. But let's delve a bit deeper into the legal aspects of this particular method of payment. You see, when you opt to pay yourself through dividends, you're essentially bypassing certain employment taxes. Now, some might argue that this is a legitimate, even savvy way to structure one's income. After all, why wouldn't you want to maximize your earnings and minimize your tax liability? However, there's another side to this coin. Some people view this practice as a form of tax evasion, or at the very least, a way to skirt around paying employment taxes. The argument here is that by paying oneself through dividends, founders are exploiting a loophole to avoid contributing their fair share in taxes. The debate around this issue is complex and nuanced. Legislation varies from one jurisdiction to another, and the interpretation of these laws can also differ. Some legal experts might argue that the practice is perfectly legal, while others could assert it's a gray area, if not outright illegal. So what's the bottom line here? Well, it's not as clear-cut as you might have hoped. The legality of paying yourself through dividends largely depends on your individual circumstances and the specific laws and regulations in your location. It's important to remember that this isn't a decision to be made lightly or without professional advice. If you're considering this route, do ensure you consult with a professional accountant or lawyer who understands the intricacies of corporate law and taxation. So you see, this method of payment is not as straightforward as it seems. In the next scene, we'll explore the potential consequences of opting to pay yourself through dividends. Stay tuned. Before you consider paying yourself through dividends, you should be aware of the potential risks and consequences. Now let's delve into the implications of choosing this method of compensation. One cannot underestimate the importance of understanding the potential risks and consequences associated with paying oneself through dividends. Firstly, there's the risk of running afoul of the law. Some view paying yourself through dividends as a gray area in terms of legality. This could potentially open up your actions to scrutiny by tax authorities, leading to penalties or even legal action. Secondly, there's the risk of damaging your reputation. If it's perceived that you're using dividends as a way to dodge taxes, it could tarnish your image in the business world. This could have a knock-on effect on your relationships with investors, stakeholders, and even customers. Thirdly, there's the risk of financial instability. Dividends are paid out from a company's profits. If your business has a lean year, there might be little to no dividends to distribute. This could lead to an unpredictable income stream, which could be problematic when it comes to personal budgeting and financial planning. Lastly, there are tax implications to consider. Depending on your jurisdiction, dividends may be taxed differently compared to a regular salary. In some cases, you might end up paying more tax on dividends. In others, you might actually save on taxes. This is why it's crucial to seek advice from a professional accountant or lawyer to understand the tax implications in your specific situation. But remember, every situation is unique. What works for one founder may not work for another. The right decision is often influenced by your individual circumstances, the nature of your business, and your long-term goals. So, should you choose to pay yourself through dividends? Well, it's not a decision to take lightly. It's important to weigh up the potential benefits against the possible risks. With all this information, you might be wondering if paying yourself through dividends is the way to go. But before you make a decision, remember that it's always wise to consult with a professional who can provide tailored advice based on your specific circumstances. The decision to pay yourself through dividends is not one to take lightly. As a founder, you're not just a player in the game, you're also the game master. Your choices can shape the future of your enterprise, and this includes how you choose to compensate yourself. Dividends may appear as an attractive option, but remember, every coin has two sides. You've heard about the controversy, the legal debates, and the potential consequences. It's a lot to digest, isn't it? But don't let it overwhelm you. Instead, use this information as a stepping stone. Consider consulting with a professional accountant or lawyer. Their expertise can guide you through the gray areas, helping you understand the potential risks and consequences. They can provide you with a tailored perspective based on your personal circumstances and the specific needs of your company. Remember, the decision you make will have a significant impact on your financial future. The power is in your hands. Choose wisely. Now that you know about this controversial way to pay yourself as a founder, we want to know what you think. This method of paying via dividends is a topic that garners a lot of opinions. Do you think it's a smart move, a risky gamble, or somewhere in between? We're curious to hear your take on it. And remember, this channel is a melting pot of ideas, insights, and knowledge. If you found this content intriguing, why not consider subscribing? We're constantly exploring a plethora of topics that could add value to your entrepreneurial journey. Whether you're a seasoned business owner or someone who's just starting, we're here to provide you with perspectives that could shape your decisions. By subscribing, you're not just joining a channel. You're joining a community of thinkers, innovators, and game changers. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and join our community for more insightful content. We appreciate your support.